Okay, let's get ready to rumble. We are in the final part 3 of the new edition story. And let's just rock into it. So I'm going to do my countdown, get you guys queued up, set a little markers, and we'll just go in. So in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep in mind it's going to be a lead-in as I am set to press play now. Boom. Previously in a new edition story. And I'm just going according to how I have the actual parts. So, each part sets up to a lead-in as it did when you originally watched it on BET or MTV or whatever, but without the commercial spots. So at any point, if you do have commercials in yours, feel free to pause this commentary and pick up, where your film, your part where you have it recorded or saved or whatever picks up, unless you have it clean, uncut, unfiltered.
No time. This record is good too. They be
playing it in the club. Mm-hmm.
So you brought us here to listen to that bullshit.
See, now I thought y'all were my brothers.
I pay the bills for my whole family. Without any, how am I supposed to keep that going?
I'm not relying on that dude for us to eat. It's time for a change. Yeah, the main reason why we brought my boy Johnny to the group was for us to change our image.
I'm not splitting my money 5 ways again.
Sorry, I almost forgot.
Bobby Brown's gonna be joining you on the tour. Whoa. And titles, the new edition story fades out. Part 3. Look, the party's over. Alright. We're getting ready to rock in the If It Isn't Love music video, which I think was a very, very smart move. I really want to do a comparison. With this version and the original version. Of course, they all have the same gear on, which that's really incredible that the costume designers were able to get all this together. These boys bust their ass and it's all on the screen, man. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, it wouldn't have been bad for them to film it in the rec center. But then again, I'm not sure if this was a studio, and that's false light. I'm talking about this version and the original version. Even though I did see some green, looks like trees in the background of one of the windows. And that's just to say that when you're in the studio, you can control the light sources so you can work longer rather than being on a real location where you, as far as the exterior shots, being outside with the sun and clouds and sun up and sunset times, sunrise and sunset times, you can't control that. You can manipulate as much as you can, but you can't control when the sun's going to go down and when it's going to move. Shattered in 1,000 pieces. Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, this was a serious comeback track. Because the second time I noticed that the scene with Ralph and his wife, that she did mention the Oldies But Goodies albums or album that they did when they were doing old school classics, and I think they got that concept. I'm not sure. Anyone could correct me, but I do remember they had that song that was in the Karate Kid 2, Part 2, and they performed a old song. I can't remember what it was. And the next thing you know, they had an oldies album that was out. And so it was cool that they didn't, although they didn't show it, they did mention it, so they didn't skip over. This is hilarious, man. Oh, boys, I would be very, very interested in hearing the commentary from the guys as they watch this film, especially with this fucking part right here. It's hilarious. Hey, zit. Looking like a Bernie Mac. Yo, got me like goddamn gubby. Boom. And that shit became popular as a motherfucker, man. And if you're telling me it's all based off an accident, that's hilarious. And it's funny because that's exactly what they called it too, the Gumby. There's slight differences, with this music video and the original, but I mean, it's as real as it can get, within the budget. And the cat, he's killing it. What also makes it classy is that the members of New Edition were on the set. There's the concert I was at. His one big thing, I don't understand. I don't know what happened. If he was offered, Quincy Brown should have played his father, man. Should have been Albie Shore. I don't know if he turned it down or what the situation was, but I mean, he's a dead ringer for Al. And whatever happened. It would have been a major move for him to do, classy move for him to do if he was offered. And if he did turn it down, it's one of those things that I think that in the future, that would be me. Yeah, I think this is something that Quincy might actually look back and go, damn, I wish I had done it. And I know at one point he was had a strained relationship with Albie, but it seems like everything is good now. But I just think there's one of those moves that as he gets older, in the journey, he's gonna watch this and go, damn, I should have did this. I should just, whatever, do it for free if it was offered to me. But that's just my opinion, for what it's worth. Hilarious. I love how they say pray for us preacher boy, because it's once again very reminiscent of the 5 Heartbeats. With Choir Boy. Another big hit for them. Yeah. I had a thought, then I stopped it. I'm just gonna say it. Sorry about that. I wasn't even sure that this track was going to blow up as big that it did blow up as big as it did blow up. Not that it was bad. I thought it was a really cool song. I actually thought like Crucial was going to do it, but it fucking took off. And the video just really enhanced it a little bit more with these suits and everything. The way they, in the music video, they cross cut, I think, like a montage of stage performance with other performances. I think it was all like from the tour. Intercut scenes. And Crucial, I think, is the last track on that album. But, you know, I hear a lot of songs that I think are bananas, and I always wonder why they never got released or throughout the entire US, because sometimes they'll drop an album or they'll drop a single in certain parts, you know, certain states of the country, and it may not go, you know, the entire span of the world or whatever. Kind of girl. The coolest part of this song, of the video, is at the end. I love the end when they do the pause. The and they put in a lot of work, man. That boot camp was no joke. Going back to his spot. The only thing I could say is that if this is supposed to be the garden, it wasn't set up that way. Because it kind of gives you a feel that they're in the center, and that wasn't the case. Oh. The stage was almost like pushed back. There were some seats, some stands that were behind them, but I don't remember like there being a lot of. I don't think that they sold those at that time, because you're basically looking at the back of the stage and you can't really see anything. So I wonder if that like got whittled down to like 2 to 3 million per person. It's funny because the mustache and how he's dressed kind of ages him a little bit. It's funny. Oh, he's just embodying the character so much. And of course, we all already know that this is they cut the Slim Cat is so similar. But anyway, we know that this is Boyz II Men. One of the groups, because he will mention, I think maybe ABC, Boyz II Men, but for whatever reason he didn't mention 702. Probably because they weren't. I don't know how heavy the story was, you know, with Biv 10 at the time, which was the company he had, but he did also find 702, and prior to 702 they were part of a group called Subway. But yeah, 702 was a badass female group. You know, that kind of faded toward the end of the 90s. No, I'm wrong. Toward the beginning of like 2000s or something to that effect. So, if you guys want to know who they are, for those that may not have heard of 702, 3 Dimes, and you can YouTube them and listen to their music or pick up their albums as well, because the shit was fire. Don't Be Cruel album. Now I'd be curious to find out if he really did this. How do you do that and then don't grab a fork and then just to give it to somebody else? It's lonely at the top. He was right, because the transition, like he said, he bit the apple twice. The transition really just escalated his solo album. Johnny Gill's album was a smasher. Still is a smasher. Is they used to say in wrestling, it was a barn burner, man. It's funny how they're in the order of their name, of course. The B, and the D as they're standing. Back to the potty. Funny that he says that already. I wanted to hear what he did, as if music is so, different. You're singing about a couple of things, and this is Dwayne Martin, currently on Real Housewives of Hollywood, formerly from Up All Night with Morris Chestnut and Patti LaBelle, playing Louis Silas. And it's funny to put these faces to the names. I mean, it's not like these are the real people, but you see their characters. Now they're just no longer names on the album. It's lonely at the top. Bobby Brown was smashing them down. With that second album, and I'm not talking about the chicks. I'm just talking about the music itself. A majority of those tracks they were top shelf. Top shelf shit. Watching this again, the only thing I would say is that when he was doing Ronnie's lines, he should have did him a little bit deeper, a little bit more like dead, because that's kind of how Ronnie sounds a little bit, the way he's, you know, poison, deadly, moving it slow. I just think this is like the only time where he should have really imitated him a little bit better. Because this is just my opinion. Like, this was like his time to really shine. That was like his one little, time where he got the spotlight, and he could have really, like, just altered the voice a little bit, rather than doing it in his tone. But that's just my opinion, like I said. And this young lady's from Real Husbands of Hollywood, Real Husbands of Hollywood as well. And I remember this interview as well. And it's funny because, now all of these interviews, which were already on YouTube, are now getting way more hits now. The coolest shit to me is that they all have on the exact outfits, man. Pretty much. It's like they were all popping right now. They all had their solo stuff, and it was like so much energy going on, quote unquote masculine energy that was just going. Everybody had their ego. That's funny, man. He's asking a BBD question. It's funny because they call this the tension interview, but when you actually look at it, it really isn't. It's the way they cut it. It really isn't that bad. It feels, when you watch the original interview, they really just, it's less tension. It just feels like a bunch of guys just chopping it up. It really does. So they make him look awkward and all that. When you get a chance, go check out this video. Check out the interview. And this is very, very close to the original, minus a couple of exterior locations. Basically, you had to get the suit right, the costumes right, rather, and the flowing cloth and the water, flexion of the water. That was very, very important to get in the feel of the original music video. Of course, with the dance steps too, but and what's funny is that how they film this is basically how they do a lot of music videos now. One location, cutting the budget is stupid. Exactly how he did it. That's funny. He said you got to audition. B B B B B B B. Same thing with this. Think about the water. They vocally and everything else, Luke is doing the damn thing, man. He's really carrying the torch for Johnny Gill, definitely. And I can automatically see if, in the future, if something were to, like if Johnny Gill passed away, I wouldn't be surprised if Luke Bryan got the call, to do some songs or something that effect. I wouldn't, it's something that I wouldn't be surprised with. Luke James. I'm sorry. Luke James. Bah! Isn't that the country singer? Hilarious. Luke James. I could have said Luke Cage. I could have said Luke Skywalker. But my apologies. It's Luke James. Luke James, not Luke Bryan. Luke James. 6 years later. Luke James. I'm still laughing at them. Sorry. Bobby Brown in the back sleeping. I will say that goddamn Hit Me Off from this album, The Home Again, that shit was fire. That and You Don't Have to Worry tracks were bananas. Sammy Davis, boing, boing, boing. Mr. Bojangles. That Firewater? Ah. I think they should have showed him drop the tablets first in the glass, then talk with Johnny, then you see him drink and finish it all. Because it just seems like he dropped it, then drank it, put a glass down. It's like, well, why put the tablets inside the glass? You might as well just swallow them. Again with the fucking smiles. Like, what's the deal with, like, assuming that everybody has to fucking smile because you're taking a picture? 4 fucking buses, man. Money burning. Debt burning. And I think, I don't know if it was Johnny or if it was Rick, but one of them said they only had like 3 people in their bus. Like, fucking wasted money, man. It's weird because I don't remember Ralph's second album. "13 shows, that's a lot of shows, man. Rehearsals. I have a feeling that actor too. We're probably gonna be seeing more of him. He has that face for like Power or some shit like that. I mean the television show Power. Yeah, had those burgundy suits, burgundy blazers and everything. I thought that was a good look. Dark burgundy. You got the flu. That's like one of the lamest excuses people use is the flu. And it's like one of the worst sicknesses to get. So to use that shit, at least in my opinion, because I've had the flu before. This wasn't. It's a cool scene too. Just how they handle Bobby again. Again. I like the way he does that. Have fun. Nah, B. We done for the night. Have fun. This was the shocker. I thought that he only had a drinking problem, to my knowledge, Ricky. I didn't know he was that deeply invested. Hey, Carrie, not Washington. And this young lady, I swear, reminds me of an actress by the name of Tracy Reed. And if you checked out Running Scared, you can go and listen to my commentary on that. And I talk a little bit about the actress Tracy Reed. And when I'm referring to as like classic beauty, I should say right here in this film, she looks like Tracy Reed. Because actors metamorphosize, but a little bit of Rosario Dawson, but yeah, Tracy Reed. Put it in the freezer for me. Right for the junk. Yeah, sour cream chips, man, I have had them in a long time. Those were really good. Make a brother want to go splurge. And now we're at present time. According to the opening of the first part of the story. And that outfit is not the move, man. The red I'm talking about. I'm surprised, like, he just knew that his mic was turned on already. Now, according to Bobby, he said that, well, actually, now you think about it, he was fucking right. Bobby has said that he was told to stay on longer because Ronnie was late. And it's funny now as I look at it, you see Ronnie coming in late. And it's on my third viewing. That's what's funny, is that you do see Ronnie coming in late. So, you know, Bobby was, I guess, telling the truth. Or I should say, let me rephrase that. That's more clarification that Bobby was, you know, more factual on his side of the story. Johnny's just like looking like, yo, I know he's not about to. He didn't give a F. He was going to hit everybody. And here we go again. So I wonder in total how many fights they've had on stage. Because I'm not going to buy into it was just those two. Or just how many close calls. He's out of here. Brooks' heart is breaking right now. It's all about grabbing that chain. I can only imagine what would have happened if one of them had gotten hit with that bullet. And from what the guy said, that actually did happen. Somebody did pull out a gun and he's having a stroke near the chiller room. I don't understand why he couldn't go with him, because they were not going back on unless they thought that they were going to go back on, you know, but that would have superseded everything as far as I'm concerned. I got you. He's letting him have it. He shouldn't have said I'm done. He should have been like, yo, he got to go. You know? I like how Johnny's ready. He takes off the glasses. He's ready to go. This is where I really feel bad for Rick. And I'm sure that nobody knows the situation at this time. it hit me more the second viewing, you know, that what I was just saying, like with it, how they really hit him. You know, and I like the fact that they did the lead in. It's like, oh man, I really do. I'm so glad that we're going back on tour because I really do need this. And it, you know, it's set up for this scene that we're watching right now. Isn't it how it always is? Ego. Honey, I'm not even Taco Bell. It don't mean shit right now. That's what you should have did with that fucking money. I love how that is what I do. And even to this day, that's what he does. So he does, according to Ricky Bell. The house, yeah. The way that he delivered this whole thing is awesome for the fact that he never raised his voice. He could have totally did some shit to the laugh and he just was just one note. He knew that the shit was going bad and he just kind of like kept his wits about him, or I don't know if it was the high that took over, but just how he delivered, or just as an actor, it's just how he delivered that, you know, that dialogue was good. Yeah, he studied Johnny Gill. And such a professional, kept getting money, man. And this guy's about to be a billionaire. I think. Ronnie is merging with a number of real estate companies, and they're he's getting ready to buy up a shitload of fucking real estate right now. That is sick. He's made it, and I think he said something to the fact, or somebody had mentioned. Let me take a couple of steps back. The fact that dude said that in that classroom was really dumb, because you were, you know, if I saw a celebrity, any celebrity in a real estate seminar or course, I would think that, you know, all right, they're getting ready to stretch their entrepreneurial skills, you know, or arms out, you know. So it's just dumb that how people think sometimes, because they don't see you always doing your artistry, you know, that you're not supposed to do anything else. It's just very similar to like an artist can only sing one style of music. So you can't do country because what the hell is he doing country? What the hell is he doing hip hop? Oh, he's a hip hop artist now. He's left R&B. And that's why sometimes people can't grow because of the fans' bullshit or the supporters' bullshit, not allowing them to grow. And that's all I got to say about that. I would like to see if there were bloopers from him doing this scene, because you usually find out the most dramatic scenes are the ones that have the most comedic elements in real life as they were filming it. His dialogue here is really good in this too. I hear you. And my man to his left looks like a stone cold serial killer / terrorist. Not Pepsi, not Sprite, but Coke. With fucking Manson sitting to his right and a fake Jay Moore. Boom, boom. Why not just go right down to the courthouse, do what you gotta do, come back, save that cash, done deal. long shot there. It would have, well, I can't recall if Bobby had gained weight, a little bit more weight at this time, but it would have been interesting if that was the case. Right there, he's very, very, very similar to Bobby Brown. So right now he's in that character, in that spirit of the guy. Although makeup artists, they do their thing, but it's how you feel emotionally when you're in that character. The white suit on. Just bypasses Rao. Whatever it is. I would never thought they had so much heat in between them, man. Some animosity. Many people may not know that. I'm sure you probably now, if you're doing the research, that Johnny and Bobby were roommates throughout all that transition where Bobby was working on his album and all that. So they've always had that brotherly, love for one another, which is cool. So now we're at the wedding. Oh, the wedding is done. They're at the reception, actually. These two cats get to talk it out. course you should have told me about Johnny. It's that briefcase. Very good dialogue here as well. Got compensated twice. It's a new edition. Now, the performance of the BET Awards is very, very similar to the real performance, man. I mean, at this point, why should anyone be shocked? based off of the performances that the actors gave prior, you know. But I mean, they really put in that work in that boot camp, man. They really put in that work, and of course, you know, left the blood on the court, man. Very, very well done. Now, I wonder when they're doing these performances if there were any dance bloopers where they had to stop and do it again. This is a really great idea for little the montages at the end. This was a brilliant idea. Give me a mic, I'll turn that bitch out. I just love what you guys do, man. Like your style, like your showmanship. We was there. Try to lie. I'm curious if Robert Townsend and Keenan Ivory Wayans, the guys that made the filmmakers that made the 5 Heartbeats, if I'm sure they have seen this, or they're about to catch up and see it. I'm just curious what their thoughts were. Probably gonna see if I could Candy Girl, see if I could find something on them. They're on the radio. Checking all this time. So, if I haven't already recommended, which I think I might have, when you guys and gals get a chance, check out the film The Five Heartbeats, directed by Robert Townsend, written by Robert Townsend and Keenan Ivory Wayans, and the Temptations biopic as well. And I'm just mentioning those two because they're about music groups, and these three are the best thus far, in my opinion, as far as music groups are concerned, not solo artists. In my humble opinion. The way he takes off his glasses is just like Bobby Brown did it. I was cracking up when I saw the original. It's nailed it. The funny thing is that as the energy that came from the film touched us as the viewers, and it was so strong that it also touched each original member, to the point that they all picked up the phone and just started talking with one another. Being moved by, the truths that they all learned. Because as they were being interviewed by the screenwriter, I believe, it was separate. And I think I recall Mike saying that at one point they sat in a room and read the script. In a room with one another and read the script. And it was actually oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. So I don't know how many years that was, and how, you're skimming through a script, you might just be reading through it very fast. That scene right there was true too. That's funny. It's so very much like the original performance. Forget it. Cut. I think also that they still have a little bit of mixed feelings, issues that they have to take care of amongst themselves. And there's one film that I thought about. It's a documentary. I don't know how many people have seen it, and it's going to sound, to those that, whatever. It's a Metallica, and yes, I said Metallica documentary. And it basically documents their breakdown. The Some Kind of Monster, I think that's the name of it, and they actually end up seeing a therapist and working through, in the process of working through those issues that they had, and those guys are still together, jamming the fuck out. So, I will bid you an adieu. So glad that you took the time to join me on this journey. Me running my mouth on my commentary on this film. And as I stated, I was excited once I thought about, I was overall excited just watching this, and then watching it again, and then just sat with me, and I was like, I should just watch it again, because I'm going to anywhere at some point, but I should do a commentary for it. And I hope that all these actors, young and the younger kids, and these guys all grow on to do great things in their careers, because this was phenomenal. So it's like at a point now, how do you top this? Just keep on climbing. So I thank you guys very much for joining me, and I will bid you once again a cool ciao bella baby. And this concludes the New Edition story. Later.